Nicaragua is on the expectation of the results of these general elections 2021. There were 4.4 million of people, the ones convened to exercise their right to vote, from a population of 6.6 millions of people. Good night, Mandy.
In fact, Roberto, we have in a covering since this November 7th. So we are continuing with this process, these preliminary results. So the electoral council is going to give the results. So we are having a connection with from Olof Palme, a convention center, because in a few minutes the electoral the electoral council is going to give the results of these elections 2021. So let's move to the other side of the studio. So we have the link right now. We have the live from it in a few minutes. So we have the authorities of this organization, this electoral organization, gives us the results. So as you said, 4.4 million of citizens were enabled to vote. So more than 280,000 people were participating in this process.
That is correct, and as well, 3,106 voting centers were enabled, as more than 13,459 polling station works were enabled in the different regions of the country. Norma, what can you tell us about this coverage that the JP team has brought to our followers?
Thank you, Roberto and Mandy. Of course, we can say many things about this electoral process, historic electoral. So today we are at November 8th, and yesterday we saw electoral process really organized and was announced since May according to the electoral calendar given by the Electoral Council. Since very early in the morning of this November 7, the voting centers all around Nicaragua opened their doors at approximately to 4.4 millions of inhabitants of Nicaragua apt to vote in these elections. More than 13,000 get ready to. But what are these elections for? These elections are to choose the president and vice presidency. You have deputies to the National Assembly for the Central American Parliament. So Nicaragua had the chance to participate in a electoral civic elections. We also can mention the accompaniment of all the people of 27 countries who approach Nicaragua to participate in this democratic electoral party.
A very important civic process that these poll watchers were describing it because of the participation of the citizens that in the voting centers were seen. So also the sanitary measures that were applied in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, which was part of this civic process too.
And also, we listened from some of the poll watchers who highlighted the participation of the women in the structures that are part of the electoral members, as well as the candidacies of the political parties. Remember that in May 2021 there was a reform to the electoral roll law in which it was stipulated that 50% and 50% of, which is basically that 50 the members of the electoral power and members of the political parties must be confirmed for 50% of women and 50% of men, something that called the attention of the poll watchers. Even one of the poll watchers from Argentina said that there are many countries in which they mention that they promote this gender equality, but this is not taken into practice. But in Nicaragua, they saw that this was applied, and
That's
is
right.
by law.
Also, the participation of women, and we could see the equity in this participation in this electoral process as the women's participation. But what were the formulas, the parties, alliances that were participating in this process? So let's see what the process or the candidates, these parties, these alliances are here. So we have the Constitutional Liberal Party. Remember that this is because of the 1968 movement as the opposition for this process by the dynasty of Somoza. In the 1990s, we have the Violeta Barrios de Chamorro in 1996, Violeta Barrios de Chamorro, and then Arnoldo Alemán Lacayo in 2001, Antonio Enrique Bolaños Geller.
That is correct. Actually, the Constitutional Liberal Party, and the second box, the Sandinista National Liberation Front, which was founded in 1961, at the beginning as a military organization with the objective of overthrow the Somocista dictatorship, has been able to be consolidated as one of the forces.
Yes, we have the Nicaraguan Christian Path Party. We have Guillermo Sorno, who is a pastor. In the 1996 elections, was the third party, the most voted party, and then we have the Resistency, which was the Constitutional Liberal Party, who took Enrique Bolaños Geller to the presidency.
The following party is the Yatama Party, which was born in 1986 and participated in the elections of the Caribbean Coast in 1990.
Then we have the Nicaraguan Liberal Alliance by the PLC, controlled by that moment Arnoldo Alemán Lacayo, who participated in the 2006 elections, which was the Nicaraguan Liberal Alliance and Alliance for the Republic, getting the 28% of the votes in 2006.
And the following box we have the Alliance for the Republic, and it's made up elements of liberal and conservative dissidents. Founded in 2004 in the presidential election of 2011, it obtained 0.23% of the votes, and in 2016 obtained assembly
The
deputy.
Independent Liberal Party was founded in 1944 by opponents of Somoza. In 1990, he was part of the National Opposition Union, being the leader of this party together with Violeta Barrios, the formula for vice president and president, respectively. In 2001, it participated in a coalition with the PLC. In 2011, it obtained 31% of the votes, coming in second place. So these were the formulas that participated in the 2006 elections and the 2021 elections. So we have an extended report, which was a summarize of the day.
Thank you, Mandy Pravia. Effectively, it's important to mention that in order to carry on this electoral process, was necessary to have a really huge electoral role to guarantee the vote of the citizens. So it is estimated that 175,000 prosecutors were present in these polling station boards, which finished their labor by the end of this yesterday afternoon. 7,000 attorneys, 30,000 prosecutors, 80,074 members of the polling station boards, and the same model was applied, 50% women, 50% men, and this way was organized all the members of the system, electoral system, which was held by Nicaraguan people. Now we are waiting for the preliminary report all over the Nicaraguan territory. We could see the environment that many correspondents, our correspondents, show us, and we saw some supporters, many supporters. They were taking the streets to wait for the first preliminary report.
The other side, we have to highlight that Nicaragua has record IDs documentation.
That it's correct. The identification card, it's a document required to exercise the right to vote. Here we have last minute information.
Then we are going to the Olof Palme Convention Center because we have the results from the Electoral Council. So we are going to have the results of the 2021 elections.
Here we are, part of the environment that is right now happening in this convention center, and the magistrates of this electoral body are entering. There we see the president of the Supreme Electoral Council, Brenda Rocha, and the other magistrates of this electoral body in Nicaragua.
So this organization is organized by magistrates, and we have Alma Nubia Baltodano, and which is going to be presented, and also Devony McDavis, Mayra Salinas, Lumberto Campbell, Cairo Melvin Amador, as part of the members of this process.
So we have part of the environment before the preliminary report is given by the Electoral Council to share with all the citizenship who participated in these civic elections. Obviously, this is the preliminary report because still there are many bugs that still are forthcoming, because we know that Nicaragua is comprises by many municipalities and rural municipalities, and it's gonna take place for these ballots to reach the capital.
So we are at the expectation. We are waiting the scrutiny to see how were the results of this elections 2022.
Good evening. Well, good morning, actually. Magistrates, special, and all representatives of all political parties, communication media, with thanks for your attention and your companion throughout this process. It is 7th of November. We have developed the number 32 activity, the process of the election of the authorities for the presidency and vice presidency for the republic, deputies before the National Assembly, and deputies before the Central American Parliament. The Nicaraguans have finished, successfully finished this civic exercise in which the citizens' will was expressed in the ballot box in peace and in a clear process. With first thanks God and the hard work developed by men and women who participate in this process. And with thanks to the people of Nicaragua who partake on this celebration, this civic celebration for our country. The political parties and their supporters, the prosecutors, for their participation throughout this process, to the National Council of the Universities, to the labor, helping the citizens and in all the polling station boards, to the technical personnel of the Supreme Electoral Council for their work developed in all the electoral process, the Nicaraguan Army and the National Police for their protections and for the moving of the cases. They're going to be with us later on. I would like to highlight that for me as a woman, it's proud. I feel proud for the participation on an equity way for the women, 50% of women, and in the majority there were high participations of women in the polling station boards, as well as the candidates presented for the parties. That's something that we have to stand out for all Nicaraguans. As the authority to develop this process to Nicaragua, the Supreme Electoral Council gives the first results of the scrutiny of this process. At this moment, we are going to give the preliminary results from all the polling station boards throughout our system, the same that is functioning in an efficient way and in a safe way. I'm going to start to read the results, the preliminary results by department and region to the elections of president and vice presidents with the protocols received at this moment. In the department of Huaco, total of polling station boards 400, 262 for a 52 pending polling station boards, total of votes 51,628, valid votes 49,559, null votes 279. PLC, Alliance for the National Liberation Front, 38,234 votes for a total of 77.6%. Christian Pathway, 1,500 votes for a 3.12%. ALN, 1,400 votes for a 2.5%. IPR, PLI, 776 votes for a 1.49%. In Carazo, 441 polling station boards executed, polling station boards 200 for a 45.35%. Pending polling station boards 241 for a total of 54.65%. Valid votes 49,269. Null votes 3,038. PLC 5,400 votes for a 12.80%. Sandinista National Liberation Front 32,818 for a 77.28%. Christian Pathway for a 3.12%, ALN 1,385 for a 3.26%, IPR 1.96%, PLI 647 for a 1.52%, Chinandega. Total station boards 963, scrutiny boards, pending boards 461 for a 47.87%. Total votes 105,044. Valid votes, null votes 4,418. PLC 12,785 for a 12.71%. Sandinista National Liberation Front 78,300 votes for a 77.3%. Christian Path 3,125, 3.11%. ALM 2,962 votes for a 2.94%. IPR 1,900 votes for a 1.90%. PLI 1,511, 1.50%. Chontales Department. Total polling station boards 793. Scrutiny boards 419. Pending boards 374 for a 47.16. Total votes 89,876. Valid votes 86,000. Null votes 3,609. PLC 13,176 for a total of for a 15%. FSLN 63,664, 73%. Christian Path 3,000 votes for a 3.53%. ALN 2,044 votes for a 3.30%. IPR 1,969 for a 2.28%. PLI 1,573 for a 1.82%. Esteli Department. Total polling station boards 547. Scrutiny boards 358 for a 65.45%. Total votes 75,184. Valid votes 72,235. Null votes 2,949. PLC 9,500 votes, 13%. Sandinista Front 55,600 votes for a 76.8%. Christian Path 2,300 votes for a total of 3.21%. ALN 2,155 votes, 2% of the vote. IPR 2,000 votes. PLI 1,000 56% for 1.60%. In Granada Department, total polling station boards 435, scrutiny boards 108 for a 24.83%, pending boards 327 for a 75.17%, total votes 23,657, valid votes 22,326, null votes 1,331. PLC 3,002 votes for a 14%. Sandinista Front 16,624 votes for 74.6%. Christian Path 783 votes, 3.51%. ALN 365 votes for a 3.48%. IPR 500 votes. PLI 421 votes for a 1.84%. Jinotega Department, total polling station boards 828, scrutiny boards 276 for a 33.33%. Pending boards 352 for 66.67%. Total votes 57,835. Valid votes 55,677. Null votes 2,154. PLC 2,000. Sandinista National Liberation Front 41,290 for a 74.34%. Christian Path 1,833 votes. ALN 15,067 votes. IPR 1,235 votes for a 2.22%. PLI 1,030 votes for a 1.85%. Leon Department, polling station boards 972, scrutiny boards 323 for a total of 33.23%. Pending boards 649 boards for a total of 66.77%. Total votes 59,594. Valid votes 55,033. Null votes 2,561. PLC 6,800 votes for an 11.8%. Sandinista Front 45,050 votes for a 78.99%. 1,000 Christian Path. ALN 1,070 votes for a 2.75%. 1,073%. Madrid Department, total polling station board 350, scrutiny board, pending boards 44 for a 12.77%. Total votes 65,054. Valid votes 62,057. Null votes 2,997. PLC 8,432 votes for a total of 13.59%. Sandinista Front 45,136 votes for a total of 75%. Christian Path 2,044 votes for a total of 3.29%. ALN 2,026 votes for 3.26%. APR 1,300 votes for a 2.18%. PLI 1,065 votes for a total of 1.72%. Managua Department. Total polling station boards, scrutiny boards, 1,967. Pending boards, 1,269 for a 39.23%. Total votes, 478,471. Valid votes, 45,714. Null votes, 25,757. PLC, Sandinista Front, 328,931 votes for a total of 72.77%. Christian Pathway, 17,107 votes for a total of 3.78%. ALM, IPR, 11,082 for 2.45%. PLI, 8,390 for a 1.85%. Masaya Department. Total polling station board 717. A scrutiny board 81 for an 11.30%. Pending boards 626 for an 88.70%. Total votes 19,516. Valid votes 18,421. Null votes 1,095. PLC 2,922 for 15.56%. Sandinista Front 13,409 votes for a 72.79%. Christian Path 663 votes for a 3.60%. ALN 626 votes for a 3.40%. APR 459 votes for a 2.49%. PLI 342 for a 1.86%. Matagalpa Department. Polling station boards 1,189. Scrutiny board 527 for a 44.32%. Pending boards 662 for a 55.68%. Total votes 109,807. Null votes 4,920. PLC 15,900 votes for a 14.50%. Sandinista Front, 78,527 votes for a 74.87%. Christian Path, 3,700 votes for a ALN, 3,349 for a 1.49%. APR, 2,339 votes for a 2.33%. PLI, 755 votes for a 1.67%. Nueva Segovia Department. Polling station boards, 538. Scrutiny boards, 362 for a 62%. Pending boards, 176 for a 32.72%. Total votes, 74,903. Valid votes, 71,425. Null votes, 3,458. PLC, 2,736 votes. Sandinista Front, 52,553 votes for a 73.56%. Christian Path, 2,646 votes for a 3.70%. ALN, 2,586 votes for a 3.62%. APRE, 2,166 votes for a 2.33%. PLI, 1,258 votes for a 1.76%. In the autonomous region of the North Caribbean, total boards, 890. Scrutiny boards, 617 for a total of 35. Total votes, 39,159. Valid votes, 35,159. Null votes, 4,000. PLC, 3,035 votes for a 8.65%. Sandinista Front, 31,229 votes for a total of 88.82%. Christian Path, 275 votes for a total of 0.78%. ALN, 274 votes for a 0.78%. APRE, 132 votes for a 0.38%. PLI, 214 votes for a 0.61%. Autonomous Region of the South Caribbean. Total boards, 453. Scrutiny boards, 369 for a 45%. Pending boards for a 234. Total votes, 40,991. Valid votes, 37,709. Null votes, 3,282. PLC, 5,968 votes for a 15.83%. National Front, Sandinista National Front, 27,339 votes for a 72.50%. Christian Path, 1,400 votes for a 3.72%. ALN 1,375 votes for a 3.65%. APRE 824 votes for a 2.27%. PLI 732 votes for a 1.24%. Rio San Juan Department, total boards 275, scrutiny boards 155, pending boards 120 for a 43.64%. Total votes 32,454. Valid votes 31,485. Null votes 969. PLC 4,708 for a 14,000.75%. Sandinista Front 23,223 votes for 73.76%. Christian Path 1,233 for a 3.60%. ALN 1,051% for a 3.61%. APRE 776 votes for a 2.31%. PLI 544 for a 1.73%. In the Rivas Department, total boards 433, scrutiny boards 248 for a 56.27%. Pending boards 185 for a 42.73%. Total votes 55,966. Valid votes 52,447. Null votes 3,469. PLC 6,900 votes for a 13.18%. Sandinista Front 40,238 votes for a 76.73%. Christian Path 1,706 votes for a 3.25%. ALN 1,600 votes for a 3.14%. APRE 1,022 votes for a 2.08%. I'm gonna continue to read the results as a consolidated results for the country with the scrutiny boards at this moment. Total boards 13,459. A scrutiny board 6,629 for a total of 49.95%. Pending boards 6,830 for a 50.75%. Total votes 1,424,642. Valid votes 1,352,555. Null votes 72,086. PLC 194,745. Sandinista Front 1,114,000 votes. Christian Path 45,000 votes for a 44. ALN 44,219 votes, 43.27%. APR 29,798 votes. PLI 22,995 votes. We have registered a total participation of 65.75%. This information is from the protocols that we have right now when it comes to the election for the presidents and vice president. We hope that for tomorrow, with the polling station boards scrutiny, have the information of the deputies for the National Assembly and the Central American Parliament. So we are convened for tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the second report. We really thank you. Good morning.
Here we have the first preliminary report of the electoral code, especially by the magistrate president Brenda Rocha, describing this electoral process. She mentioned that from the 13,459 polling station, 6,629 are scrutiny, and it is equivalent to 49.25% so far. According to the act, so we had the first preliminary report from the Olof Palme, and this is the first cut, and was detailed by the department, and she mentioned the formulas by percentage.
According to this preliminary result, so we have the FSLN victory. So we're going to remember you about the global results according to the scrutiny, who are 6,629, which is the 45.25% of the scrutiny.
That is correct. There are 6,629 polling station boards. The Constitutionalist Liberal Party got 194,000 votes for a total of the Sandinista National Liberation Front got 1,000,000. More than Christian Pathway 46,046 for a 3.44 percentage. LN 44,217 votes for a percentage of 3.70. APRE 29,000 votes, 798, and the PLI 222,998 votes actually. This is for the election for president and vice president.
So we are going to have the next preliminary about the candidates to municipalities. So we're going to broadcast minute by minute about this second preliminary results. So we have finished until this moment this civic process of the Nicaraguan elections, the general elections of Nicaragua 2021.